There it is. The Chiefs, the comeback win, the exclamation point. Damian Williams. Will we see Mahomes and the Chiefs go back-to-back for the first time that any NFL team has done it since the early 2000s? And yes, Tom Brady's former team, the Patriots. Or will we see Tampa Brady, the man himself in his 10th Super Bowl, get the job done? And I welcome in the nobleman, Dave Kinkman-Rieger, 9 300 sanction games. Lawton Luntz, Barry Sanders jersey, great-looking goatee action there. Longtime co-host, great man. And Dave hates – see, it's a really funny thing, but Dave's such a hater. He hates Brady because, Brady was in the AFC and he's a Broncos fan. He hates Mahomes because Mahomes is in the AFC West. But he's got to pick somebody. So we'll get to his pick. Dave, how are you feeling? Because it's like last year, Lawton, this, me and Matt Towers in our legendary fantasy league, the UFFL, they call it the hate bowl because we always talk so much crap that everyone hated on us. Dave, how have you dealt with this? It's two of your mortal enemies.
Well, last year, of course, I was rooting hard for San Francisco, who blew it when Garoppolo overthrew former Super Bowl champion wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah,
and that would have won the game for the Niners, and that would have defeated the Chiefs. This year, you've got Tampa Bay with Brady leading them, and then you've got Mahomes back in trying to go for a repeat, which the Broncos did pull off in their history. So, yeah, can both teams lose? Can we just get a mad COVID outbreak and just cancel the Super Bowl?
Well, it's too bad.
Is that a prop bet we could take?
It's not nice, and it's too bad that it's not a regular season game because it can't end in a tie, Dave. That'd be your favorite thing.
I mean, obviously, the smart bet is with the Kansas City Chiefs. If Tom Brady's going to throw 3 picks like he did against Green Bay, I don't think he's going to get it done.
All right, well, don't give away where we're going.
We're going
to make our picks at the end.
It's just going to kind of just be like, Super Bowl's going to be like,
Yeah, he's the only one that says that because he's such a hater. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. I think Kansas City could win the game by a lot, but we're going to have fun today because we're doing a props party, and the three of us have thrown in some cash. We're going to take 10 props, and whoever has the most wins of all those 10 props will get the money from all of us. But I think this is important. I just talked about this on my handicapping show. It is just one game. I know it's the Super Bowl. I know it's one of the greatest days in sports and in the year for us, fans of the game. But if you're a bettor, and now we're all in Michigan, the three of us, and these sports betting apps are on fire, if you're a $100 bettor, don't bet $1,000. If you're a $500 bettor, don't bet $5,000. If you're a $25 bettor, don't bet $300. Take this like it's a regular game. Maybe put a little more on it if you want. But then you also have some props. You can spread some stuff around. There's some props that have very long odds. You can put some good money on, like an 8-1 to 15-1 type of prop, like an overtime or safety prop. Dave knows all about safeties. How about that opening of the Peyton Manning Super Bowl against Seattle? You know all about the safeties. And everyone does squares and all that kind of stuff. But Lawton, it's
you wish you knew about the safety in Super Bowl, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's one of the 4 that I've gotten wrong in 19 years. So go blank yourself. And the Lions never won a Super Bowl. But listen, Lawton, I think it's important that people out there know, and I know that you're fascinated by these betting apps as well. Just because it's a Super Bowl, don't bet crazy. Just you can bet a little more if you want, but just it's one game. Now I'm lucky. I've always been good with Super Bowls. I've won 15 of the last 19 against the spread. But I don't look at it like it's anything different than a regular game. I'm just really good in the playoffs when I've picked games throughout my life.
Except for 2015-16.
Yes, I know. And you can still go blank yourself. And by the way, fix that picture. It's all off kilter. Your mom would be very mad. Lawton, you can't get too excited about, as far as the money goes on just this one game. It's okay to have fun with it, but I think people need to be careful that, especially now, at least a lot of our viewers, that are watching in Michigan, don't, get on your app and start depositing thousands. I'm going to take Brady. Be careful.
I agree. There's nothing really about this game, at least for me, when I'm looking at a bet, if you're just asking to cover 3 points, I think Kansas City is the right way to go. That's just my opinion. But it's too close. The money line's not strong enough for me to throw a bet down for Tampa Bay. I'm actually more excited, and I know that we're going to talk about this, about the individual prop bets. I think that's a little more exciting, and maybe I'll win a Super Bowl square this year. I mean, honestly, that has me more intrigued than the actual betting lines that are on right now.
Well, and I've offered this to David, his brother, and you too. I speaking of squares, my dad has decided to buy $36, which is double chai. It's a very lucky number in Hebrew. I have part of a $500 square that pays $12,500 a quarter, and you guys are welcome to get whatever kind of accoutrement in that square you'd like. Because I think I'm pretty good at winning squares. Dave knows this, and you know from our fantasy league, I'm pretty good at all these external things. Because last year we each picked a team, a random snake draft in the playoffs. I mentioned our friend Matt Towers. I beat him in the fantasy title game, and then beat him again. He had San Fran, I had Kansas City in the Super Bowl picks. So I won some squares, but squares are fun. But it's a lotto ticket. There's no skill in squares, Dave. I mean, it's super fun, but if people think that, like there's like an art to, you want certain numbers, but these days with the way that the Super Bowl's been going, the regular numbers aren't always good. You might want 2-6.
That's true. With the 2-point conversion and the extra point moved back. Yeah, you're right. The off numbers, the zeros, the 3s, the 4s, the 7s aren't necessarily the right numbers this time around.
All right, well, let's get into this. As I mentioned, we're each putting our own money up. We're going to do 10 props. I got like 5 regular ones and 5 really fun ones. And there's all these cross-sport props like, over, under, receiving yards and points in an NBA. And there's all this golf stuff. It's great. But I'm going to throw these off, and I wanted to go with some just traditional ones first. And by the way, I want to quiz you guys quickly here. And I think I might have told you both this in the past, but if I have, I want to see how good your memories are. Do you guys know why? And basically, it was, 85? So like 35 years ago is when they really started doing a ton of props with Refrigerator Perry scoring a touchdown. That was one of the first years they did a lot of props. But they started doing them in the 80s-ish. And do you know why they did 15 props? They did, obviously, the game itself, and then 14 or 15 props. Do either of you know why?
No.
Off the top of my head, I don't.
I've told you both this. All right, how many on a regular full week of the NFL? How many games are there?
16 games sometimes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they decided they're not going to have the same kind of volume. They wanted to give the bettor, this is before offshore and online and all that stuff, they wanted to give the bettor as many options to bet as they have on a normal Sunday. That is how they decided. It used to just be coin toss, over under, like, quarterback passing yards. It was all, regular props. They didn't start adding in the Gatorade stuff and will fans run onto the field and will you see boobs on TV, that kind of stuff. They didn't add that till later on, but that's why they did it, because they wanted the bettors to have as many options as they had on a normal Sunday. Now the volume would be the same, but they were able to get people to bet a lot more. You know what I mean? So there's your history lesson. All right, we're going to start with this. We're going to do some. We got to do the coin toss, because the coin toss is what it's all about. I will tell you this because I'm a sicko. This was a long time ago. I bet on the coin toss many times, but I was in college and I was betting way too much money and winning a lot of money, but I was betting way too much money for a college student. And I bet $500 in the Falcons-Broncos Super Bowl on the coin toss and won. And it was, I would say, the most nerve-wracking 35 seconds of my life. Like, after I won, I'm like, that was the stupidest bet I've ever made. I'm glad that I won, but who would bet $500 on the coin toss? And that year I took tails. You always want to bet tails. But it's even money on both sides. So let me write everyone's name down. Squatch, Baby Dave. All right, tails or heads? Dave Rieger.
Heads.
All right, Dave goes with heads. L-Man.
Well, you know what? If you go back to the history in games with Tom Brady and how successful he and his teams have been, shockingly winning the coin toss, it's always been heads. So I'm going heads.
Has it been a heads every time?
It's been a heads about, I think it's like 17 out of the 19 times.
Oh my God! All right. Well, you know what?
Don't quote me on that. There is a CBS article that.
No, I've seen it. I've seen how many times it was.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going against.
You're going against the grain.
And I'm taking tails because I'm very smart. All right. I thought this was another interesting one. How about the first offensive play? Will it be a run play or will it be a pass play or sack? Run play or pass play or sack? Dave Rieger.
It'll be a pass play.
All right. Dave goes with pass play, L-Man.
Man, it really depends on who gets the ball. I feel like if KC gets the ball, it's going to be a pass. I'm going to say, since we said Brady's going to get the ball first, we're going to go run.
Yeah, I think it's a run, too. I think, you know what? I don't care who gets the ball. I think they're going to run the ball in the first play of the game. I think it's, even though the Chiefs have been there, you settle in, you know what it's like to be in a Super Bowl, but it's still an insane, moment when the game starts. And I think they're going to run the ball. Both teams run the ball. They both have good running games. Okay, now this is another one that I really think is fun, especially if the Chiefs got the ball first. Will there be a score in the first 5 minutes? Any score. That means a touchdown or extra point or safety. So if it was Dave Rieger, reliving the terrible Broncos Super Bowl loss, what was that, the first 25 seconds, Dave? The safety? So any score in the first 5 minutes, Lawton Lutz.
I'm going yes. First right. 5 minutes of the game.
Yes.
Yes. 5 minutes of the game. Yes. Yep.
Dave Rieger.
No.
Dave.
No.
Ooh, Dave goes no. This is a tough one for me. I'm gonna say yes. I think Mahomes and the Chiefs get the ball and get score early. All right. Couple more of the regular props. And I wanted to do a couple. We'll do the two quarterbacks here. We'll start with Mahomes over under passing yards, 327.5. And just for the record, last year he was over 300 in the Super Bowl. 327.5. That's a high number for anybody. I mean, Mahomes can do it in his sleep, but that's still a crazy number. 327.5. Lawton over under.
I'm saying under. I got a little more respect for that Tampa defense. I know that their corners are questionable, but I'm still going to go with under.
All right, Dave Rieger.
Over. This game's going to get out of control fast.
Ooh, I like where your head's at. I'm going to go over 2. I think it's going to be a huge day for Patrick Mahomes. Oh, wait, hold on. That's 4. Yep. All right, so that one's there. All right, and then we got to do Brady. We have to obviously do Brady when it comes to Brady's over-under passing yards. Over-under 296.5 for Tom Brady. Dave, you go first here. I know you hate him.
Under.
All right, Dave goes under. Lawton once.
I disagree. I'm saying it's going to be over. I feel like especially if they're playing from behind, if Kansas City gets up early, I feel like that's going to be a great opportunity for Brady to get some stat Padford yards, as we would call them.
Hey, get some!
Brady might have 200. Brady might have over 296 yards in interception returns against him.
All right, Dave. That's just Dave, don't be
is that a prop bet? Can we take that one?
Yes. I think that it's 1.5 gagillion to 1. All right, now here are the fun prop bets. And I just to explain to the people watching, we know that some of these lines are crazy, so we decided if it's anything plus 700 or more, then you get 2 points for the prop. I will mention this to you, fine citizens. I can't say who it is, but I've befriended. He reached out to me on Twitter over the last several weeks because he loves to bet. His brother is a Kansas City Chief, a very famous one. And he told me Mahomes' favorite color of Gatorade. So I guess I probably shouldn't say this, but what do you think the color of Gatorade is? Well, whatever, it's the favorite. I mean, it's orange. It doesn't mean it's going to be that way. Orange, red, lime green or yellow, clear water, blue is 8-1, purple is 15-1. So if you do blue or purple, you can get 2 points here. What do you think, Lawton, the color of Gatorade on the game-winning coach?
So I'm going to stay conservative on this one. I think it's going to be red.
Ooh, red. So you go red for plus about, 165? So that's still an even money bet there. Dave, I know you love orange, so I'm guessing you're going to go orange.
Blue.
Why blue? Explain your reasoning there.
Because it's unexpected.
All right. Well, Dave, if you get blue, that's 2 points. All right. Now, I think this is there's always these absolutely crazy props. But I think
what are you picking, Dan?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm picking orange.
Okay.
Because that's Mahomes' favorite color.
Of course, Mahomes' favorite color would be the Broncos color, of course.
Yeah, because the Broncos are champions. They're the greatest champions of all. All right. I think this one it's not going to happen, but I just want to pick this because it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Will any player propose? It's COVID, so maybe it's going to be different. Will anyone propose to their girlfriend on the field after the game? The no is obviously minus 1,000, but we'll make this. If you say yes, it's 2 points. So what do you think? Any proposals? I.e., Ian, what was his name? Ian, not Thomas, the Boise State guy that ended up being a Lion. Lawton, any proposals after the game on this one? It's COVID times. Why not?
You know what? Engagement season usually runs from December 15th to February 15th. It's very possible, so I'm going to go with yes. There will be someone who does an engagement and gets on one knee in the field.
Yeah, I'm going yes too. I'm giving it's like basically a free bet for all of us here because it's a 2-to-1 bet. Dave, are you going to still take the no for the easy win?
Absolutely no.
Dave's trying to school us somehow. Jason weighing in, by the way. What's going on? It's Buckeye Jay. We love him. We just like the Buckeyes. All right, and I got a couple more, a few more crazy ones. All right, we're not Lon. I know you'd probably love to do the Bitcoin prop, but let's not do the Bitcoin prop. This one I think is fascinating though. Will any player, because we see the Chiefs get into it with the Bills, we've seen, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in NFL games these days. Will there be any player ejected for throwing a punch or fighting? And once again, the yes would get you 2 points in this one. The no is, just an easy win. Lawton?
I'm going to go with yes on this one, and here's where I see the scenario. If somebody tackles Brady too hard or hits him in the head, I can totally see someone getting ejected for sure.
All right, Baby Dave Rieger.
Well, definitely a yes, because the Tampa Bay is going to be down. They're going to be frustrated at the end. It'll be in Ndamukong Suh probably.
All right. Well, I'm not going to take the possible 2-point swing there. I'm going to say no. I think everyone's going to be on their best behavior, but it's definitely possible. All right, couple more here. And listen, some of these get so crazy. I didn't want to do anything like absurd, but I do want to do this one because this goes along with the Gatorade one. What players will pour the liquid on the winning coach? Will it be defensive players? Will it be offensive players? Or will it be both? And I think it's interesting because look at this. Defensive players are minus 150. Offensive players are minus 150. And if it's a mix of both, it's the biggest underdog. I'm going to go first here. I think it's both. I think it's going to be a mix of both kinds. So, Dave, do you think that it's worth taking the 2-to-1 there or not?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be both. It's going to be if the Chiefs win, it's going to be the Honey Badger and Travis Kelce, and if the Bucs win it could be any combination of offense and defensive players.
Well, Lon, you're a known Gatorade dumper, so clear liquid guy. So I would think you're an expert on this. What do you think?
So I'm thinking if the Chiefs are up, the offense is on the field, it's going to have to be defensive players. So since you both went with both, I'm going to go against the grain. I'll say defensive players.
All right. That's probably, you know what? It's probably the smart way to go there. That's why it's the favorite. All right. We got one more in our props party. By the way, if people are excited about this game, check out, there's so many props to bet on. There's like 800. Obviously there's the actual game props, but then there's the other stuff going on as well. So please check that out. Now, I want to make sure that people understand the reason I'm doing this prop is because I am so excited that we have a female referee for the first time in Super Bowl history. And, I mean, people might look at this prop and say, oh, why are you betting on how she wears her hair? The fact that we're talking about this is awesome. So that's why I wanted to do this. Sarah Thomas, first female referee to ever referee a Super Bowl. There's a prop on how she wear her hair. And most of the time, she wears it down. But there is a 3-to-1 on up in a hat. I wonder where you guys are at with this because it seems like it would be easy to take the down, but maybe she's going to do something different. It's the biggest game of her life. Lon, what do you think? Down or up?
Up in a ponytail all day long.
All right, so Lon is going in the ponytail. So you're taking the big underdog. Or no, you're taking down. Taking down. Sorry. Dave?
Up for sure.
Wait, hold on. You make sure I'm getting this right for you guys.
Yeah,
you're going with the underdog? Up in a hat?
Lawton misspoke. He said up in a ponytail.
Up through the back of the hat. So we'll say up.
Yes. All right, I'm with you guys. I think we're all. I all agree. I agree.
It's misleading with the down ponytail thing.
So we're all saying up.
Yep. All right. So that's our 10 props. The winner gets the money from everyone else. If there's a tie, I don't think there's going to be a tie. I doubt there's going to be a tie.
What's the statute of limitations of how long it pays? How long is it going to take Dan to pay the winner?
Hey, Dave.
It's at least 90 days. 90 days.
Dave, I can buy and sell your life 5 times over. So let's stop with that.
Like I said, how long is it going to take Dan to pay us?
Over under is at least 90 days. That's
at least. At least.
While I continue to make fun of you in my sleep, let's hear from my friend at Screwball.
Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. A refreshingly unique taste on the world's most classic spirit. It goes down smooth, with a perfectly blended finish. Anything but ordinary, and always lives up to the name. Sure, it sips a little different, and that's just who we are.
Peanut butter.
Screwball Whiskey, the original peanut butter whiskey.
And you guys are definitely a bunch of screwballs, so it works out perfectly. All right, let's pick this game. It's what it's all about. Super Bowl 55, we went to the first repeat winners as the Patriots in the early 2000s. We could see Tom Brady win his – I mean, it's just – okay. So Matt Stafford, obviously huge news this week. It's traded. The Rams are golf, the 2 first-round picks, the 3rd-round pick. Matt Stafford would like love and pray and beg to go to 1 Super Bowl. Brady's like, now go to 10. So we could see Brady 7, which is a touchdown and extra points worth. Or we could see Mahomes going back-to-back, the Chiefs, the first team, to do that in almost 16, 17 years. Let's take a look at the live lines via our good friends at inspin.com. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, guys, is it going to – I actually just got a tweet during the show. Will the line go back to 3.5? I will tell you right now, I just did a handicapping show, and I've talked to my people that are in the know more than I am. They all believe this line is sticking at 3. Now, it might be -3, -120. It might be -3, -125, because we know 3 is a key number in the NFL. But it doesn't appear that even though there's some big sharp money, some big sharp bets on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the last couple of days, 70+% of the money for the public is on the Chiefs. It's been that way since this game opened to pick them. The Chiefs beat the Bills, and the total is down to 56. 70+% of the money is on the under. So when you look at this game, if you're waiting for a 3.5, it doesn't mean some sports books might not do that. But I think the majority of the lines out there from now until game time are going to be some form of a -3 where, like right now, if you see the in-spin line, it's -3, -10, or +3, -105 for the Bucs. It's -3, -115 for the Chiefs. It's going to be something like that, I believe, for the next few days till the Super Bowl kicks off at 6 on Sunday. Lawton, we'll start with you. Chiefs, Bucs, 25,000 fans, 7,500 plus front healthcare workers that have the vaccine, which is awesome. It won't be the normal ambiance of a Super Bowl, but the cameras, if you guys have heard they're using, are like it's gonna be like a movie. They've got stuff in the sky. It's gonna be crazy. How do you see Super Bowl 55 at Raymond James Stadium?
Well, first and foremost, it was February 5th, 2021, until I found out that Dave Rieger and I shared an interesting sentiment that we just both don't care for Tom Brady. And that's a great thing. And so what I like to explain to the audience is very simple. See, I'm called a Brady hater because I just don't believe in the narrative of the GOAT and he's just the greatest thing since Jesus. So it's really interesting. I've never had
or Moses for us Jews. Thank you.
Or Moses, yeah, for sure. So, and to explain further, I've never really had a reason to root for him. I went to Michigan State. He went to Michigan. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. He played for most of his career at the New England Patriots. And let's be honest, I'm not a Tampa Bay fan. I have no real connection there. The only connection I really have to Kansas City is they kind of remind me of the Golden State Warriors circa 2015 to 2019. They're a real fun team to watch. And they don't have Tom Brady. So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Big shocker there. And as far as the betting line, I alluded to it before, Dan. I mean, let's be honest. If you're only asking this explosive offense to cover 3 points, I think it's a no-brainer. If you're going to bet that way, in my opinion, that is the way I would bet, in addition to all the prop bets, because I feel like those are a lot of fun.
All right, give me if you can, give me a pick on the total. Are you going to go over or under?
Oh, gosh. I think it's going to go over. I think it's, like I said, Dave mentioned it's going to get out of hand, and I think you're going to have a little bit of a comeback from the Bucs. So let's say the final – what's the over-under? I can't see that.
56.
56. Yeah, I think it's going over that. So I'm going to say 35-27.
All right, Dave, I just got a text from the guy that runs the Westgate. He told me that prop for Brady, 296 yards of interceptions, is plus 1.72 billion to 1.
Awesome.
So you want to put a buck on that?
You got it. Yeah, have him put a buck down for me. Yeah.
All right, Baby Dave Rieger, one of the finest bowlers I've ever known. A well-known Tom Brady hater, Broncos slap, lover of the Squatch. Just a great, noble citizen whose pictures look like they're in an earthquake right now. Dave, I know this is very tough for you because you hate both Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Are you going to watch the game? Are you just not even going to watch it?
I will be watching the game. I will be watching the game at a place where usually the Chiefs win.
Arrowhead? You watch the game at Arrowhead?
So I will be watching the game at a certain location. Since we can't have the game end in a tie, since we can't have the game canceled, my prediction is Kansas City Chiefs 57, Tampa Bay 10.
Okay. Woo! All right, Dave, you know I love you, but you're an absolute idiot. 57.
That's my 10.
Dave,
now, that's my pick. Now, Dan, if you are such a Super Bowl aficionado, you'll know why I chose that specific score.
Yeah, because isn't that what the Broncos lost to the Niners? 57
No,
to 10?
They lost 55 to 10.
So you're adding a safety?
We're gonna add a safety in your honor because you were talking about.
I knew that. You knew that. I knew
that. Very good.
Okay, there's no way.
Chiefs 57, Bucks 10.
57 to 10. I will tell you this, Dave. If the score is like, I'm not even going to make it be 57. I'm going to bring the actual score. If it's like 50 to 10 or anywhere in between that, 50 to 10 or 57 to 10, I will give you $250, a pack of trash bags, a ninja, a food ninja, and I'll give you a glass table. So that's you get all that stuff.
Oh, great.
And I'll get you at least 3 or 4 air fresheners.
Now, what gets added in if it's like the Price is Right and I get both showcases, 57 to 10? What are you adding in to that great prize pack?
I will give you my car. I will give you the keys to my storage unit.
Why do I want? Okay, first of all, why do I want the keys to your empty storage unit? Because I helped you empty it. Number 2, your car needs so much work. I don't need that either. And I just got a new car. So
all right, fine. I'll give you my. Yeah, you texted my dad and told him you got a new car, and there's no more moving parties. You love
that's
that.
Correct.
Right, fine. I'll give you my refrigerator. I'll give you 3 couches, 140 pairs of socks, and $1,000.
It's on tape. It's on tape.
On tape.
You got it.
57 to 10. Okay.
I traded 47 pairs of dirty socks. Great.
No, brand new ones. I'll get them from Target. So,
my gosh.
So you're obviously going over the total. You're taking the Chiefs.
Everything is going to be Chiefs all day. The game's going to be crazy. It's going to be scoring nuts. Yeah.
All right. Before my pick, because that Dave's pick was so insane, here's Screwball.
Screwball peanut butter whiskey. A refreshingly unique taste on the world's most classic spirit.
What we need to do, Dave, is we need to get you to do that move that woman did in the commercial, the little spin move. Can you imagine Dave doing the spin move, Lawton? I just want to see him dancing around like a light whiz. This is the way I look at it. And you guys have made, Dave's 57 to 10 is a little absurd, but you made good points about where Kansas City is just a better team. And once again, if you're just joining us, the line is going to stick around 3, so don't wait around for 3.5 if you're taking the Bucks. 70+% of the money is on Kansas City. 70+% of the money is on the under. That's why it's gone from 57 or so down to 56. But I look at it like this. I know Eric Fisher, the blind side, great offensive tackle is out. You got a bunch of journeyman offensive tackles playing on the Chiefs, but they've got a video game offense. They've got Hill. They've got Harden. They've got Kelsey. They got, all these different running backs, whether it's Williams or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Their defense is solid. It can rush the passer. And Dave, you brought this up, or one of you two brought this up. If Brady throws 3 interceptions against the Chiefs in a row, they're not going to score 3 points. They'll probably score 21 points. And the Packers were able to score 3 in those 3 straight interceptions. That's why Tampa Bay hung on and found a way to beat them at Lambeau Field. That will not happen in this game. I'm not saying the Bucs have to play perfect because, no one plays perfect, but they're going to have to play A football, like close to A-plus football, and the Chiefs have to play B or B-minus or C-plus football for Tampa to win because Kansas City can score so much. They've got a good defense themselves. Brady is Brady. He's going to keep this team in the game for a while, but I'll give you a bonus pick here. If you mentioned the numbers on the coin toss for Brady's Super Bowls and the Patriots. If you look historically at first quarters, Tom Brady's been really bad. Take the Chiefs and the under in the first quarter. There's your bonus pick. But in the end, the Chiefs are way too much for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. It's incredible that Brady and these guys did this in year number 1. Of course, if anyone's going to play in their home stadium for the first time in a Super Bowl, it's going to be Brady. That's happening. It's going to be a fun game. But in the end, Kansas City by double digits. I'll give you a score too. It's not 57 to 10, but I'll go 38 to 17. Kansas City. Wow, I don't love the total, but I'm leaning on the over. I just feel like there's a chance that it could go under because the Bucs won't score as much as people think they will. But based on my pick right there, you've got to take the over. So I think it's going to be something like that, 38-17, 38-20. And I think the Chiefs get the job done and win back-to-back. And this could be the first of 3 or 4 or 5 Super Bowls for Mahomes in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Let's hope not.
What's that?
Let's hope not.
Yeah. So tell everyone why you hate him so much, aside from the fact that he's a Chief.
Well, first of all,
come on,
that's easy.
Listen, first of all, that's ridiculous that you would even ask that question. Why do you hate Aaron Rodgers and the Packers?
I respect him.
I respect Mahomes too. I actually respect Brady too. But the fact of the matter is, Brady's not the GOAT. Joe Montana's the GOAT.
No, will you see?
And here's the reason why.
Brady has 6 titles.
Exactly.
Montana's 4-0. He was the GOAT. I always thought he was the GOAT.
That's why.
Until like 3 years ago, he was the GOAT. He ain't anymore.
Let me explain.
All right,
Montana's the GOAT because he never lost. Just like Jordan is the GOAT over LeBron, because even if LeBron wins some more finals, Jordan never went to Game 7. That's why. That's why those people are the
no
GOATs,
one on planet Earth, except for you, probably your mom, Freda, and maybe a guy named Jessup in North Dakota, thinks that Joe Montana is still the GOAT.
It's February 5th, 2021. That is the second thing that Dave and I completely agree on. We got to go bowling sometime, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And I can send you an article. I can send you a fantastic article that has John Elway's the GOAT. So, hey,
the GOAT argument in team sport is silly to me. But
I mean, yeah.
But at the same time,
there is no chance in God's green earth that John Elway.
John Elway, one of the most.
Brady's a great quarterback. Right? I'm not taking anything away from him. I
just got a newly.
I hate the narrative that's built for him.
Squash ball. I'm ready.
I like that. That's good.
Squash ball. By the way, I made a mea culpa. I told you I'm leaning on the under or the over because I just feel like the Chiefs will score a lot of points, but my final score 38-17 is actually under. So my official pick is the Chiefs in the under. I just think that
can I change my final score?
Yes. No, you can't. We already make bets on it.
105-10.
How about 100-2 and 100 to -2, and the mini Dick gets take care of it. Mini Dick is 100, Rams -2. All right, parting shots for you, fine friends. Thanks as always for being part of the great and noble task force. You guys are the original guys, so it doesn't get any better than this. We'll start with you, Lawton Luntz. Parting shots, and what is the plan for? Obviously, I want to say this again. We wish we could all have huge Super Bowl parties. The CDC has advised against that. I'll be in the studio instead of our big fantasy party we normally do. I know many people are not going to be able to have the kind of parties they normally would, but please be safe and have small gatherings. We don't want to get another Super Bowl spike, as they're saying, in a Super Bowl bump from the COVID stuff. We have all these variants now. But what is the game plan for you on Sunday, and how you feel?
Well, I'm going to definitely invite Dave over because, we can keep the parties along. We can hate together. But honestly, that's the game plan, just hanging out at home. And I think one thing we haven't talked about on our past couple of shows here is, Steve Spagnuolo has been pretty impressive defensively against Tom Brady over the years, especially in big games and Super Bowls. And I know that we've talked a lot about the offensive line for KC, and we've talked about the secondary for Tampa Bay. But I think that's going to be a huge factor. Steve Spagnuolo definitely knows his stuff from his years with the Giants and dealing with Brady in Super Bowl games. So I think that's one thing to initially watch. That's definitely something you're going to want to watch. And we might see the making of the next great quarterback if Mahomes and the Chiefs do what you guys think and just blow out the Tampa Bay Bucs.
That is a great point on Spagnuolo. So I was privileged enough to cover that first Giants-Patriots Super Bowl in Arizona. And I remember talking to him after the game. And if you watch the Giants players, like everyone, if you don't know how it works, everyone's got a podium. This is obviously not COVID times. And everyone's got podiums kind of next. Not everybody, but most players have podiums where they walk up to them. And, you got coaches, you got players, you got Brady, et cetera, et cetera. And they're all really close to each other, but they're far enough away where the media can get in there and ask questions. Right. And I remember as I was talking to Spagnuolo, like 4 of his guys, like Strahan and some other guys like this, they all just went right up to him. And like I think one guy spilled like some Gatorade on him in a cup. Like that guy gets the best out of his players. And I think like what you said, it's not that people are sleeping on the Kansas City defense, because we know you can't go to the Super Bowl without a defense. And they were out 24-0 against Houston last year, but the defense helped them come back by letting the offense score, not giving them any more points. They've got a pretty good defense. They've got a defense that can rush the passer, that has good secondary, Tyrann Mathieu, all that stuff. And obviously the Bucs defense, I think, is just a little better. But KC's defense is no slouch. And you're so right about what Spagnuolo can do, both schematic-wise, but also motivating his guys. They are you watch them on the sideline during games. You hear what they say during the week to the media. Yeah. They're just connected and synergetic, and that's a great point by you, Dave.
Well, I think it's the same thing on the other side of the ball too. I mean, who as an offensive player wouldn't want to play for Andy Reid? I mean,
and Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy should just stay put, man. He's in a really good spot.
He should have a job, though. He should have a head coaching job. It's ridiculous.
I agree. But like I said, his worst case scenario is that he's still Patrick Mahomes' offensive coordinator. I would take it if I was Eric B.
All right, Dave, I want at least 2 stunning facts from you. I want you to one-up Lawton there.
Well, number one, I will be watching the game from an undisclosed location.
Yeah,
that's number one. No, number two.
That undisclosed location.
I'm still going to invite him.
Yeah, number two. I'm sorry, you put Stetson in my head. Lawton made a fantastic point. I will be following Super Bowl squares. I will be following this. A lot of these online gambling sites are doing football bingo. I got a couple of those going. There's a Rocket Mortgage Squares thing that I signed up for. I'll be watching that, and all the prop bets that we just talked about. So that will be what's exciting to me about this game, because it's going to be a blowout. Nobody cares who wins. It's Detroit. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares who wins.
So it's just whatever. Brady wins, whatever.
You wish they would just
win
play the game.
Whatever.
Would you rather not play the game because no one cares? Just stop playing.
Yeah, the game. I mean, I'd be fine if there was no winner in 2021. That'd be fine. Let's just go on to next season. I'm fine with that.
That'd be so 2020 though if there was no winner.
Yeah, I got no problem with Brady not winning, Mahomes not winning, Tyreek Hill not winning, Andy Reid not winning. I'd be fine. I'd be fine with that.
Isn't Dave just exude greatness?
I would be fine with any of that. And see, this is where you don't understand. And Lawton kind of too, but he's a Dolphins fan, so he understands.
Don't you dare bring Lawton into this.
No, but Lawton understands. Lawton and I have a connection, Dan. We have something that you don't have, and Lawton Lawton even has me one-upped, which is a perfect season. And thank God the Giants took care of the Patriots' perfect season that year. Okay, so give it up for David Tyree. Thank you very much. All right.
All I'm going to say is the name of your award-winning podcast. Whatever, Dave. All right, great stuff by you. Great stuff by Lawton. Chiefs big on Sunday. We'll post those props for our props battle. And I'll tell you this, it's going to be a lot of fun for a ton of people in Michigan that for the first time ever are going to legally be able to bet on the Super Bowl. I'm going to be very fascinated to see the numbers on how much money is bet via the 15 apps or so, legal apps and the casino itself.
Dan, where will the official prop bets be posted, please?
The official prop bets will be posted on the greatest Twitter account known to man, at DanLeach971. It'll be retweeted by @LawtonLuntz and also by Kingpin6345. By the way, we were invited, our great friends and future sponsor of the task force, FanDuel, to have a private room for the Super Bowl, but unfortunately I'll be working. Dave is going to be in a cave in an undisclosed location, and it's probably not the safest thing to do a party in this casino right now, but in the future we will be able to go and watch some games in their private rooms at the FanDuel Sportsbook, which is phenomenal. And we thank those guys, my man JP, offer that. So I wanted to let you guys know. I know that I had to work, so I had to turn them down, but we will go there soon. And Lawton, you can wear the Barry Sanders jersey. Dave, you can wear a Broncos toga.
That's funny because I thought that you were going to be watching the game where you usually watch the game, which is with a member of the Detroit Lions you made friends with since they're never in it.
Oh, that's so funny, Dave. And you know what I'm not? I'm not a rebel, a traitor, and part of the Rebel Alliance. Take him away. That's what I'm not. Dave, we got Mike Thomas saying, take me in place of Dan. So there you go. Get in there.
Okay.
All right. I love you all. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Spread love, not hate. Wear a mask. Let's not have a Super Bowl surge of COVID. And go Chiefs for the great Dave Kingpin Rieger, the greater Lawton Luntz, and the future on the beard there. I'm Dan Leach, the Squatch. By the way, there could be some breaking. Dan Leach on Holy Moly News coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that. But thanks so much to my fine noblemen. Until next time, this has been the Task Force. Believe in the dream. Peace sauce.